Matt and Mikey hit the airwaves bright and early, sipping coffee while the world's still a little twirly. They've got a list of 5 that'll blow your mind. Tune in now, leave your worries behind. Saturday morning, Samoflange, top topics that'll make you dance. Grab your headphones, take a chance. It's the best darn podcast in the land. From movies to snacks to the quirkiest trends, they debate and laugh till the show nearly ends. A little bit of chaos, a lot of good cheer. With Matt and Mikey, your weekend's clear. Saturday morning, Samoflange, top topics that'll make you dance. Grab your headphones, take a chance. It's the best darn podcast in the land. From movies to snacks to the quirkiest trends, they debate and laugh till the show nearly ends. A little bit of chaos, a lot of good cheer. With Matt and Mikey, your weekend's clear. Saturday morning, Samoflange, top topics that'll make you dance. Grab your headphones, take a chance. It's the best darn podcast in the land. Whether it's favorite dinosaurs or breakfast delights, their witty banter makes everything feel right. You'll laugh out loud at the friendly spouts. Matt and Mikey sure know where it's at. So set your alarm, don't you dare hit snooze. They've got opinions you just can't refuse. Saturday mornings have never been this grand, thanks to Matt and Mikey and the Clever brand.
Hi, folks, and welcome to another Saturday Morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
I'm Mike to the Y.
Oh, Matt and Mike. I want to do that. I want to do that guitar song.
Yeah, well, do it. What's stopping
Well,
you?
we're also looking too early. We're going early.
We're going early.
We're going early. All right, so we're talking about top 5 cover songs.
I like the covers, especially when it's cold outside.
Heyo.
Hey-o.
Heyo. Gonna get some top 5. Do you know who used to say heyo that I miss?
Who?
Mr. Steve. Mine.
Oh,
It
yes.
was- That's a heyo.
Yes.
Do that on one of those. I want an hour. I want the hour that was after practice or before practice. You know, the time that he just sit there and just talk. Those were great memories.
Yeah, they were.
That was the
Great
sweet
man.
spot for Steve.
Rest in peace, Steve.
Yeah, this is rest in peace. R.I.P. Anyway, gonna do top 5 cover songs. This one, is there any crossover here?
I'm going to stick with what I said last week,
gonna
and I'm
say
going to say
zero.
0.
I have to say 1. I don't think there is. I'd be shocked if there was.
The thing is that there's so many cover songs, and there's actually songs out there that people don't even realize
That
are
have been
covers.
covered, yeah.
Because there's a lot of songs from the 50s, 60s that get covered in the 70s and get recovered in the 80s, and then, you know, so this one's pretty tough as far as like dwindling it down, because there's a lot of good songs to choose from.
Yeah, and this is, oh, Heavens and Murgatroyd. I told you I had like 8 songs, and I didn't rank them, so I had to rank them real quick because I thought I'd ranked them, and I didn't. And now I'm feeling I rushed this, but it's okay. We're going to go with it. We're going to Leroy Jenkins this.
Leroy Jenkins!
And go right on in and give you my top 5. But the thing is, I bet you're going to remind me of some that I'm going to love. I bet our
think so, for
audience
sure.
is going to remind us of some that's going to make us embarrassed. So there's a lot of good cover songs, like a lot of good cover songs. But I'm trying to pick the cream of the crop here. I will go first.
We'll
this
go
week.
first already.
Go first already. Exit stage to the left.
Where's CJ when you need him?
I was thinking the same
He
thing.
did the
did that all
best Hanna-Barbera voices I've ever
He
heard.
has it.
I
He
can
has
do a
it down.
halfway decent Snagglepuss, but that dude could do Quick Draw McGraw and Huckleberry Hound just right off the dome.
Boom,
And-
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But you got to have faith.
You got to have faith.
Faith. Limp Bizkit.
Yes!
When they covered Faith, that was that my first introduction to Limp Bizkit?
I think that
it
was
might have been.
everybody's because
I was like, who is this?
yes.
Because I said, wow, I already love the Faith song, but that is so kick-ass.
Yes.
And then I guess maybe that was everyone's introduction to Limp Bizkit, but wow, what a cover.
It was.
What a cover!
And they did play that live when I saw them last month. And
Did they really?
They did play that. Yeah, and it was.
They have so many songs in their repertoire now. I was shocked that they did a cover, but I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh. Well, it's one of their biggest songs. It's what put them on the map.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But wow.
I love that
Wow.
song, and that's a good pull, right? Because I didn't think about that one, but I used to jam out to that.
Oh, mercy me. I gotta you just, I mean, you listen to that in your car and you start headbanging, and you better pull over.
Yeah. Now, it's not like we talked about last week. It's not danger zone levels, but you got to worry about a different thing. You don't have to worry about going 90 straight line. You got to worry about
Going
like
into
left
a
and
straight
right.
line.
Yeah.
Go into a straight line. All right. Anyway, there we go. Number 5.
Okay.
What's
so,
your number 5?
Well, speaking of the 90s, so
yes,
my
please.
number 5, this one is like a cover of a cover of a cover. So I was a really, really huge Dave Matthews fan in the 90s and like early to mid 2000s.
Right on.
I still like them now, but I really don't listen to them as much. There is no disrespect, and I didn't lose interest in them. I guess it was just kind of more of like a phase in my life. But back then I listened to them a lot. So Bob Dylan, a long time ago, who I do not like, wrote a song called All Along the Watchtower. Mm-hmm. Now, Jimi Hendrix covered that song, and most people will think and say, and
It's a Jimi Hendrix song.
that it's that's
One of
like
my honorable
one of the best.
mentions is that. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was a...
Well, but Dave Matthews redid it as well, like probably 100 other people,
Yeah.
and I love that version of it. Dave Matthews is known for being a little bit more jam bandish and melodic, but he gets a little screamy at that one, and in a good way. And so hearing kind of like a folksy version with some horns and some violin in there, really did it for me. I do love the Jimi Hendrix version, but the Dave Matthews cover of a cover of a cover is my number 5.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick. Love it. Like I said, I have an honorable mention that's like that. I thought it was their song, and then later on, in fact, one of my other ones, I originally thought it was their song, and I loved it. And then someone goes, that's a remake from someone else. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So, my number 4, I hate the original song. I hate the original version. When I heard the new, slower, unplugged version, I was like, what is this? This is fantastic. Then found out who had originally, because I hated the original version. Hurt by Johnny Cash.
Great song.
Are You Ready? Went to a 9 Inch Nails concert. He even said, once he heard Johnny Cash's song, he said that beats ours.
Oh, 100%.
When they got the call, hey, Johnny Cash wants to play your song, he went, yes.
Yeah, you don't
That's
say
what he
no.
said. And then when he heard it, he went, that's the right way to play. That's how the song should have been sung. That's perfect. He said that is the most perfect song. So he did his version of Johnny Cash's version of his song.
Right. Well, what's amazing about that is that it was the right song for the right person at the right time, because
Yes.
he died shortly after that.
Yes.
So for him to have that song is kind of his legacy, because he wasn't a good guy. I can't
Yeah.
say that. That's not. But he had
his
some
mistakes.
he had some scars,
Yeah.
there, and it sounded like a kind of like a forgiveness plea.
Yeah.
And it was the perfect. I mean, I'm getting like my hair standing
I know,
up thinking
I know.
about it, because it's such a haunting song.
It's really good, but I wonder, does he always do that now? Because he said during the concert, he said, I'm playing the Johnny Cash version of our song because the moment I heard it, I said, that's how the song should have been sung. And so
Probably.
he got the guitar and started doing I Will Make Your Earth slow and everything just like Johnny Cash. But he said, loved it, said it was better than his version. Oh, but when Johnny Cash calls you and says, I want to do your song, yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
We'll pay you.
Yes. Yes. Do whatever you want to.
Do whatever you want. But he said they were shocked, honored, just like, oh my gosh, he's gonna do it. And when he heard it, he went, "This is I'm always playing it this way." And I don't know if he still does or he plays it the old way now. But in that concert at that time, he said he is only going to play the Johnny Cash version of his song now.
He may.
And that's how big that cover song was. When you get the original artist to say that was better. I've never heard anyone say that. I've heard they like these. There's one. I don't know if she said it was better. I should put that as an honorable mention now. I don't know if she said it was better, but she said it was a very good version. She enjoyed doing it. But anyway, yeah, great stuff. Great stuff there. All right, so Hurt, Johnny Cash, number 4, lock it in. What's your number 4?
My number 4, I'm just gonna like slide on in here.
Oh.
I know you know this song. I don't know if you like this artist or not, but you know, I do enjoy the fact that you will dive back deep into some of your heavier roots, because in the 90s, you know, it wasn't uncommon for us to go from like country to rap to R&B to metal. You know, there was a lot to choose from. So I love the original song, but I actually think that the cover is better. The song is Sweet Dreams by Marilyn Manson. Originally sung by the Eurythmics.
Yeah.
That song got a lot of play. It's in a lot of movies.
Exactly.
It's very heavy. It's a little bit slowed down, not as synthesized as the original 80s version. But man, you know, it came from early Marilyn Manson, and you know, he's very polarizing. Some people like him, some people don't. But it came from his second album, Smells Like Children, and that was at a time when, you know, he was very, you know,
You're talking about Michael Jackson?
Maybe. He was very irreverent and very unafraid to, like, you know, push the envelope. And so that song didn't. It was a faithful cover, but it still had a lot of that, you know, very quintessential Marilyn Manson traits of being very haunting, being kind of growlish, dirty. Almost kind of makes you feel dirty after listening to it. But not in a bad way.
Yeah, okay. Dirty, but in a good way.
Yes, exactly.
That's another album cover.
It's like Dirty Dancing.
but in a good way.
Yes.
Like Dirty Dancing.
Exactly.
Like Dirty Dancing. Have you heard that? I don't know if you remember this Mrs. Story, but she was directing some kids, choreographing something. She went, and you're going to pick her up just like they did in Dirty Dancing. And every kid looked at her and went, "What is that?"
Oh, no.
And it hurt her feelings.
I'm sure she probably melted into the floor.
Now, this was like 12, 13 years ago, but still.
Well, that's even more egregious.
It was, but the thing was, that was the first time she realized she'd seen referenced a movie that no one had ever seen. And she'd never seen that. And at this time, I was already getting over the fact that people hadn't seen Star Wars. I was like, and then I just stopped doing it. I said, well, I guess there's more people that haven't seen Star Wars than usual. And that was her first time to realize no one knows the movie you referenced.
That's
now.
rough.
But she was like aghast. Like, as they said, is that a YouTube video? I mean, it was funny because she's like, how have they never seen Dirty Dancing? I was like, Mrs., come on, get out of here. Have you seen Sweet Johnny Step Dirty Dance though? That's the question.
I have seen him do some dances that were quite dirty.
Oh, really?
If you remember his stint as El Antonio.
Oh, man.
From,
yes.
What was the name of that dadgum show? The disco show.
Death by Disco.
Death by Disco.
Death by Disco, which I think I still have that picture of him.
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, he was just the hotness. You talk about the hotness back then.
Yes.
I mean, goodness gracious.
A little behind the scenes for anybody that, you know, is listening.
Yeah.
That character was not in that script. That character was made specifically for him to get him involved because the audiences love John Stepp.
And who doesn't?
And I love John Stepp.
A lock of his hair still sells for eBay on pretty penny, I hear.
He could absolutely fart in a jug and close it up and sell it on eBay for thousands.
Thousands of dollars.
Thousands, I tell you.
Thousands. And I'll never be able to afford it. But you know what? I will survive.
You will survive because he would actually come over here and fart on you for free.
Yeah. Well, I will survive because that's my number 3. By Cake.
First, I was afraid.
I was petrified, thinking I would never live without you by my side.
It's one of those songs I can sing when it's playing, but I can't
so
sing.
Many nights wondering how you did me wrong.
I forgot
and I
about
was strong.
that. Yeah.
And I moved. I learned how to move along, and so you're back without a trace. I walk in to find that look upon your face. All right. So anyway, I should have changed that stupid lot. The original song has been played out. It's not that fun for me, even though I know it's a classic one. But when Cake plays it, I cannot stop. As long as I will live, I will always be alive. I will have so much time to give. I have so much. He kind of gets off the rhythm a little bit.
Right.
And it's just one. Cake is just a wonderful band. But that song, I will survive as long as I don't have time. I will be the guy. And it's just like, oh man, it's just so good. The trumpets, the beat, just like Cake does. But my goodness, you talk about singing on the original song comes out. I'm like, okay, humming along. That song comes out, I'm belting out the words.
Yes.
I am belting out the words because Cake puts emphasis on each word.
Are you saying that cake is delicious?
It is delicious. I will have them and eat them too.
Absolutely. You've earned that.
I've earned that. I've earned that cake.
You've earned that cake.
Yeah, that's my slice of cake. That's my number 3, Cake. I will survive.
I like that number 3.
Thank you.
My number 3, all right. I had to do a twofer. You'll understand why.
Is it the same song, just covered by 2 different people?
No, but it's just kind of virtually like.
Wait, are you putting in 2 on number 3?
Yes, it's kind of 2 sides of the same coin.
So you have a top 6.
You'll understand when you hear
Go.
it. It's 2 sides of the same coin. Okay. All right, I'll just say what they are.
Okay,
they
please.
are the covers of "Come On Eileen" and "Take On Me," but they're like the ska covers.
Okay.
So "Come On Eileen" was done by a band called Safe Ferris in the late '90s, and then "Take On Me" was covered by Real Big Fish. So they're kind of like the same thing, just these ska versions of these '80s hits.
Okay.
And to me, even though, okay, well, I can't say that because I think I'd be lying. "Come On Eileen" is the better of the 2, so if I had to choose one to be number 3, it would be "Come On Eileen," because I think that's much better than the original version. I would much rather listen to that version. "Take On Me," I can't say that because, "Take On Me," the original, is such a classic.
Man.
But
A great music video, too.
Yeah, oh my gosh, one of the best. But, the ska bands did a lot of that. There's a lot of, like, ska covers because they had to, like, ska it up a little bit. And I'm such a big fan of that genre of music and the dance, the skank, that I will always go back to that. I still listen to that stuff today.
Yeah,
and it peps up my heart.
It peps up your heart.
It peps up my heart. You're being awfully
skank.
quiet. It makes me feel like you're going to say something that's a ska remake.
No, I'm not.
Because I know whenever you get quiet over there.
I've listened to the ska Christmas albums before. And here's the thing. I'm thinking about this. I didn't put any Christmas covers. But they've been done to heck.
Right.
There's too many. It's the same one.
Right.
But there's a Punk Goes Christmas and ska and stuff like that. So I listened to a few back in the day.
All right. So that's my number 3s.
The number 3s. My number 2, singular, is Newfound Glory. Came out with 3 albums from the screen to your stereo, and it is cover song. 3 cover albums. They are excellent. And in fact, there's one of them that will be my honorable mention. But Never Ending Story, they covered.
I don't
the
think
theme
I've
song
heard
on their
that.
first one.
Okay.
And the Newfound Glory edition of Never Ending Story. It's a punk rock band.
Nice.
So they do Never Ending Story punk rock. And that was my first introduction to them. Someone came over, played the CD at a party, and went, "Who is that?" And they said, "That's Newfound Glory." And I went and bought the CD and then bought everything from them, and I'm a big fan of Newfound Glory today. One of my favorite bands, right up there with Weezer.
Oh man!
So Newfound Glory is an excellent band. That's one band I've yet to go see in concert and would love to go see. But yeah, Newfound Glory, Never Ending Story.
I think I just figured it out.
What?
I have a thing in my head of why you're
Oh!
quiet, and I think I'm right.
Oh!
But I'm not going to say it. I'll just let you know either I'm right or I'm not right.
Have you figured something out?
But now I think I know what your number 1 is.
You don't, but you're close.
Okay, all right.
You're close.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right about the artist.
Okay.
You're wrong about the song.
Okay. Okay.
You're going to let you say the song because I know you're.
No.
Thinking
I'll wait till you say,
All
and then
right,
we'll
all
talk
right.
about it. All
That's
right.
so great. Number 1.
I mean, if we were videoing these, like
His face lit up.
Yeah, my face literally just like that light bulb moment that you see in movies.
He knows where my battleship is right now.
That just happened to me, and I was like putting these pieces together in my mind, like Sherlock Holmes, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay.
All right, number 1.
No, my number 2.
Oh, number 2. Excuse me.
Yes,
Number 2.
yes, my number 2. Man alive, I absolutely love this song. I love the cover. I don't even really like the original. As much as a fan of the 80s that I am, this is how kind of weird this is. I never knew that this song existed until I heard the song show up on the credits of an episode of Stranger Things from season 1.
Oh, my Lanta.
And right, whenever like the last scene ended and the credits started rolling, this song hit, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I really felt such like a bum 80s. I need to turn in my 80s card because it was really made famous in an 80s movie that I had seen, but I just didn't kind of put two and two together, right? So I love this song. It rocks so hard. It is Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles.
I know that song, and I love that song.
It's so good, and it was
so good. I love the original by Simon Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel, yeah.
But I love the Bangles version of it.
It hits so. I mean, of course, it's got the little intro, but once it hits, that guitar riff is so good. And that's what the credits of that Stranger Things episode hit. And I was like, what is this? I actually watched the credits twice that night. I rewound it and I was like, oh my gosh. And then it turns out that it was in a movie called Less Than Zero from the 80s, which I had seen and I love, but it's another one of those kind of serious, more adult 80s movies that I didn't watch as a kid. And I watched it as an adult. And so like the music didn't really like stick with me as much as it would have when I was younger. But that's such a wonderful song. Rocks hard.
You just reminded me. I've got to boot out Limp Bizkit. There's another one that should have been in my top 5.
All right. Dang, I've been booting left and right.
You just reminded me with that, but I'm going to go ahead and get to number 1.
Good thing we live in Louisiana.
Number 1, the band is
Weezer.
You're correct. The song you do not know.
Well, I was going to go.
Because they did a whole cover album.
They did.
Thing.
So I was going to go Take On Me because I said Take On Me. But now I'm thinking you probably are going to go Africa.
Okay. So it's not on the Teal album.
Oh, okay. All right.
In fact, I didn't know it was a cover.
Oh.
King on the Red album, Deluxe Edition.
Oh. Okay.
King
Deep dive.
King was by, and I had to look it up again, Ali Alexander, I'm assuming. I never heard this. I didn't even know it was a cover. And who would ever want to be king?
Yeah.
Here, Jerusalem bells.
Yeah.
That's a cover.
I didn't
know that. I thought that was a Weezer song.
Yeah, sure.
But it was just a cover song. So I didn't know that, but the Weezer edition is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that song. And of course Weezer's going to be number 1 on these. But that to me was just such a, when I first heard it, because I always got the deluxe edition of the album. I didn't get they were doing something back in the day. They do the regular 10 songs, or you could buy the deluxe edition for $5 more, and it came with like 4 more songs or something. So you're paying $1.25 for those songs. I was like, all right, fine.
Might as well.
So I got it, and that was near the end of the album. But also, actually, a lot of Miss Sweeney was on there, which is another extra bonus album, which I love. I played it for Heather. So
nice. Yes.
Of course, no offense, Kirk. No offense, because he's talking about how much he wants Miss Sweeney. So there you go. But it's actually just a really fun song. But so those extra albums on there were good. The King cover is just fantastic. Which is my number 1. But what is your number 1, sir?
I will go back and listen to that because I want to hear that now.
So
my number 1 is probably, like, I can't say it's the best cover of all time because that's what we're talking about here.
But you can. It's your number 1.
It's my number 1. It is my favorite cover. I would say that I would actually bet that it's probably the most commercially successful cover of all time. Ooh. I could actually be wrong about that too, but if you did not live in 1992, then you have no idea just how big of a song this song was. And it's still, to me, one of the best vocals I've ever heard in my life. It's pitch perfect. It's powerful.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
It is I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Okay. Cover of a Dolly Parton song, I Will Always Love You.
Gotcha.
Now, Dolly's I love because I love all things Dolly. But that cover, and earlier whenever you said, you were talking about a woman talking about somebody else doing their song better, I thought this was it. Because I think I've read Dolly saying that Whitney's was much better than hers.
Okay, got it. Well, you were saying 92. Mine, the one I forgot, came out in 91, has wonderful vocals too. And I thought for a minute you were about to, that was going to be wild.
Are you going to go, were you going, well, I'll let you go.
No, you go ahead and finish your number 1 thought, I'll tell you.
Because there's one that I left off, which is an honorable mention for me, which is a cover of a Prince song.
No.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I will always love you. I mean, it may be dated now. The kids may not, whatever. But it was such a powerful ballad. It's one of the best vocals. I love Whitney Houston to death. Y'all all know that. Great song.
All right. So, honorable mention time. Great pick. The one that I forgot, shame on me, 1991, Elton John cover, Daniel by Wilson Phillips.
Oh,
I think
I forgot about that.
is so wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that song.
It is good.
I love that. I've rarely listened to Elton John's song because if I want to play Daniel, Wilson Phillips just nailed it. Just absolute nailed it. And that was 91.
It's so good. Yeah.
You got another. You got an.
Well, I thought you were going to say.
I've got three more.
Nothing Compares to You. Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot about
and
that.
both
one.
of those versions are good, but I think Sinead's was much more popular for sure.
Yeah, the other one that I did not know was a cover. Thought it was their original song. "Live and Let Die" by Guns N' Roses was actually from.
No, that's a Paul McCartney song.
Yeah, is it? Okay, yeah.
Like Wings, I guess.
Yes, Wings or Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wings. And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought "Live and Let Die" was a GNR original.
Yeah.
Because it was such a big hit.
Well, it's Knocking on Heaven's Door as
back
well.
then. "Knocking on Heaven's Door."
That's such a good cover.
Yeah, "Knocking on Heaven's Door" is another one. You know what? I didn't know that either. When I went back and listened to the original, don't like it. Too slow.
It's not.
No,
I mean,
knocking on heaven's door.
I mean, compared to
Doesn't sound as good
GNR,
as-
yeah.
It doesn't have the soul that GNR gives it. I don't think.
Yeah, I think just covers. I mean, there's that one that everybody really likes, and I do
What's that
too.
one?
That Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley, because that's been done a bunch of times. I
It's
enjoy
been done
it.
a bunch of times. I agree.
Mad World had some interesting covers, but I enjoy the original Tears for Fears the best because it's just kind of a different kind of vibe. But when you talk about covers, I mean, there's, like we said at the beginning, there's a million of them. So
yeah, I have two more.
oh yeah.
That were honorable mentions. "Smooth Criminal," "Alien Ant Farm."
Okay, I'm very protective of Michael Jackson. Everybody
Yes.
knows that.
Yes.
That is a wonderful cover of a Michael Jackson song. It takes it leaves the integrity of the original and makes it punk. I love it.
Yeah, it really does. It really did, and I am too. But that one and the only two Alien Ant Farm songs I listen to are "Smooth Criminal" and "Movies."
Yes, Movies. That's a
love,
good song.
I love "Movies."
Good song.
I love that one. It's so beautiful. But that's it. That's all I listen to from Alien Ant Farm. So one of them's a cover, and so I immediately, because what I did is I looked over my what I have on my favorites when I have my list, and I was like, oh, Mark. But I had tons of these.
Mark
So
Addison?
No, Mark. Yeah, Mark Addison. That's exactly what I said. But I was looking through and I was like, oh yeah, that's one. Tag that one. Tag that one. So I had like 8 covers I really wanted on here. Of course, anything on the Till album, duh, I like that. But one, Amy Mann. Not three. It was it Three Dog Night. She covered one. One is the loneliest number.
Yeah.
But Amy Mann did it in
Sure.
the song Magnolia. Magnolia, which is another
Well,
good soundtrack. I didn't talk about this last week.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness, Magnolia soundtrack. It'd probably be an honorable mention.
It's so
but
good.
It should have been an honorable mention last week.
Yeah, that's at the very. That's like at the
Dang,
middle
shame
of that
on me.
movie, and that's a
Shame on me.
haunting. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Woo.
But first off, Magnolia, excellent movie.
One of my favorites.
Is it one of your favorites?
Oh
Is it
my
now?
gosh, that is a beast of a movie.
All right, so here's the true story. When we rented on DVD back in the day, we saw the crowd that said Exodus, whatever. I was like, we paused it. What is that? So we looked it up, and it talked about the second plague, about frogs. And I was like, what does that mean? And we didn't understand. So it must have been a mistake. And then, of course, frogs fall from the sky. Holy cow!
Right.
Holy cow! That was meant to be in there, and of course, everything was. Of course, I don't know if it's not safe for work, but the Tom Cruise quote.
Oh, so good. So good. Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Respect the
Yeah.
And my brother still thinks that whole Tom Cruise motivational talk is one of the finest monologues Tom Cruise has ever uttered.
100%. That's some of the finest work he's ever done because the
It
scene
really is.
with his dad dying. I mean, it's
oh mercy. There is a lot. I mean, there's a fine line when it comes to overacting, and you could have overacted it. But no, you sold it just right. It's so fantastic.
I think, and that movie is one of the reasons why I love him so much, and I've always been a little bit more of an apologist for him than other people because he is a great movie star, and yes, he will get in these movies, and he's an ingenue, and he will not ingenue when I say that he's a leading man, and but he looks and acts just like Tom Cruise in most of his movies. That was one of the few times you actually got to see a character. And I think he did a really good job with that character.
He did.
That and Tropic Thunder. But, I digress.
There you go. All right, folks. So let us know in the comments, what cover songs do you love? What cover songs did we miss? And we'll see you next time on
Saturday
Morning
Samoflange. Somebody covered that song.